Hi, I'm Mark Davis with Seagar, and we're at ICAST 2017 with Real Tease Fishing. You know, a question we often get all the time is when we've got leader line and we've got Topshot line and we've got main line and they're all fluorocarbon, well, if you got a main line, why do you need the rest of them? Well, it's actually a pretty simple answer. Those are pretty much the primary ways you're going to use fluorocarbon line, is either as a leader, a top shot, or a main line. A leader, quite simply, does not go through the tip most of the time. It's typically shorter. A top shot could be anywhere from 5 feet, 6 feet. It could be 20 feet. It could be 15 yards, depending on what you're fishing for. But the main question is, they've got main line. You start from the end of the spool, you spool 200 yards, 600 yards, however many yards you want. Why would you ever need the leader material when it's all fluorocarbon? Well, if you'll stop and think, it's almost like a sliding scale. When you're using a main line with fluorocarbon, you want something that's easily manageable. You want to be able to cast it, you want to be able to work with it. Those are things that you need to do to fish from day to day, no matter what you're fishing for. A top shot, you still need some management, but we're typically talking about a top shot of what? You're either tying to a monofilament or you're tying more oftentimes to a braided line. Well, that's when the fluorocarbon, the knots get important. As we go to a leader, you're not really wanting to work with it at all, and in fact you're wanting to stay pretty much rigid and pretty much straight. You want nice abrasion resistance, you want really good solid quality line that you don't have to worry about getting torn up on rocks, you don't have to worry about it being seen. It's still fluorocarbon, but you're not going to work with it at all. Once you go from being easy to use on a reel and manageable on a reel, you have issues with tying those connections. So if you take say the InvisX, which is an awesome mainline fluorocarbon, and you try to actually tie that to a braided line, it works, but it's not ideal. You can get the knots to cinch down, but it's not what it was designed to do. It's not nearly as easy to tie. When you get into the true leader material that can also be used for a top shot, like with me, if I'm going with a leader, I'm going to go with a blue label. If I'm going with a top shot, I'm going to go with a Premier, which is a little bit easier to work with, but it's not quite as mainline supple as what like an InvisX would be. So the answer to the question is, you can use InvisX as a leader. You can use any of the Seagar mainline fluoros as a leader, but it's designed to be a mainline to be worked with, and really you lose some of the qualities of what a true leader or a true top shot is when you get into that. So as long as you think about it as it being either a mainline, a top shot, or a leader, and what you're wanting to do with it, it's pretty easy to make the choice, and you can see the reason for all three.